This episode of Chuffed Adventures, I get some reminders what it's like being back in boat life, and we get to catch up with Joel and his dinghy project. The day before I left for Australia, we thought we would tackle a quick boat job. It didn't take long to realise those don't actually exist.
And it's starting to rush through with water leaking on this side too. So what's the boat job for today?
Oh, just like Matt's boat jobs, just quickly I'm gonna replace this. This is our exhaust mixing elbow. So we've got gas exhaust and salt water that's been pulled up, cooling the engine, coming and mixing up in this elbow, and then essentially going over out the side. But this is made of cast iron, and it, with this material and the different temperatures and salt water all mixed together, it's not very good. So it obviously starts to corrode, and the other side of it's I pulled off a huge chunk. So I've essentially just got to replace this nice shiny new one.
Yep.
With this other, remove the old one. It's all corroded and nasty.
Nice. And then we won't have salt water leaking into the engine compartment.
That's right. It's really corroded in here.
Yeah. So you couldn't get just the elbow off? Gonna have to take the whole exhaust manifold off?
Yeah. It'll just be easier to pull the whole thing off and put it on a vise and work on it later. Yeah. But there's a gasket that goes on here that I don't have a spare of that, so hopefully I can reuse it.
Yeah. So
this is very porous, it's like a sieve. I mean, the carbon buildup inside here is really bad. Clean all this out.
Yeah.
But I'll reuse this bit because I don't have another replacement.
We'll put a spare elbow on.
Yep. A vise would be great right now.
You can always take it to Rick's shop if you need to.
Yeah, probably will do.
So Joel took the exhaust manifold and elbow to the machine shop to be taken apart, and unfortunately they cracked part of the exhaust manifold, which is the part we don't have a spare for. But they've welded us up a new one, which Joel is checking whether or not it fits right now. Yet another boat job that we thought would be just a simple changing of a part. It's turned into multiple days getting another part made for a couple $100.
Couple $100. Alright, well, moment of truth, here we go. Get into this spot. So got the new hose here. I think we did all right.
While I was having a great time sailing, four-wheel driving and working in Queensland, Joel was tackling his new dinghy project, cutting out plywood pieces, measuring seams, applying wood preserver and stitching it all together with zip ties. Before I knew it, it was time to say goodbye to my family in Australia and head back to Chuffed. Alright, it's my first day back on the boat. As you can see, it is raining in Golfito as always. Joel is extremely excited to have me back. And our plan, we had a boat day today, just unpacking and stuff like that. but gonna head into shore tomorrow, check out Joel's new dinghy and how it's all going. Sounds really good. And yeah, exactly, go look at the dinghy and go talk to some people about organising some veterinary stuff over the next couple of weeks. Should be fun. It's good to be back. It's very nice to be back. Very relaxing. You enjoying your time up here? Hey? Aren't you beautiful? You are stunning. It's going to be the prettiest photo. The next morning I headed into shore to see the dinghy project for the first time in person. So the dinghy's in two sections, right?
Yep, exactly. So here's the stern section, which has been glassed in now. All the seams were taped, which taping is just taking essentially a length of fiberglass, say this long, and running it along the seams,
Yep.
and glassing it in, and then doing another larger layer to reinforce that. So all the seams have had that. And then I've put one solid glass layer across
Yep.
everything else. And just a little while ago I did the first glass coat on the bow section, and had to reinforce the bow transom area because
Get a bit of a close up at that.
it's much thicker.
I see.
Just because there's going to be, this is where we'll tow the boat from, and so there'll be a lot of extra load on there that you would just want to make it beefy, and
Cool.
in case I ram into something, it's
like a whale or something.
a whale or another boat.
Nice. So what are those two pieces?
These are the buoyancy tanks.
Yeah.
So they kind of nest up into here. So it's the same technique, the old stitch and glue. So you just stitched it together and then taped up the seams
Yeah.
with some epoxy. Sanded it smooth a little bit. This doesn't have to be too pretty because that's not going to be seen.
And it gets filled with foam, you said?
Yeah, so I'll fill it with this white styrofoam over here because it doesn't absorb water.
Okay. Is it too hot to go anywhere, Riley? Has she been helping?
Always. She's the best little shop dog.
We're going in to get rid of Chuffed. It's always a little bit intimidating in water like this because you can only see like a couple of meters and it's really green, and we've heard that there's like sharks and crocodiles in the water, so I always hate doing the bottom here, but it needs to be done so we can move. Joel was spending every spare minute with his beloved mini Chuffed. He looks like he owns the boat. He looks so proud to be on there. So that's a dead fish
Yeah, small fish.
that you sucked up through the toilet.
To the toilet.
So that's why it was blocked.
I was blocking the inlet side of the
Yuck.
Good morning.
Hello. So we sucked that little fish out of the toilet this morning. We assumed that was why our pump hadn't been working properly on the intake, but it still seems to be having problems, so we're gonna have to keep trying to figure it out. Another fun boat job. Everyone loves getting in the toilet and bilge area. In other news, today I had a good time, going to Pasacanoas, which is one of the border towns, and well, on the border of Costa Rica and Panama, and basically you can go there and get a lot of supplies like fruit and vegetables and noodles and rice and drinks and all that stuff for like half the price of what you pay here in Costa Rica. So that was a very good experience to get done. We went in Sally's big red van. She lives here and runs one of the bars, so they showed me around and told me where the best place to get this cheese was and where the best place to get apples were and, you know, whatnot. So yeah, it definitely worked out to be more savings for us, which is good.
I think that is the tail of another dead fish coming through. Yuck, they're really stinky and horrible. Ugh, it just keeps... I know I do a lot of gross things, but this is particularly disgusting. The fish is like poking out and keeps breaking when I try and grab it. Alright, I poked around a bit with that and then just gave it a really good pump, so hopefully I can suck him out of there. Okay, I hope it's doing its thing. So I'm going to give you guys a real boat life story. It could be other life too, but boat life mainly. I got back to the boat and I didn't have my phone with me, and then I was freaking out that, you know, maybe I'd lost it somewhere, and in the town we're in, if you lose your phone, it's gone forever. So I had started cooking a little bit and preparing for dinner, but then I thought, oh, I better go to shore. I'll meet Joel, make sure my phone has been left at the workshop Joel's at. So I went to shore, the phone was there thankfully, and we ended up walking down to one of the expat bars and we're having a few drinks. And then someone was talking about what they were making for dinner. And all of a sudden I realised that I couldn't remember if I had turned the burner off on the stove. So I scooted out of there and like ran the kilometre down to the marina and then jumped in Possum and rowed back to the boat really quickly. And very luckily, I guess, I had left the burner on, but because we have a good half decent stove, it had switched off and there was no gas coming out or anything. So thank God, because it would have been 2 hours of either on fire or gas leaking. So it's just, and it's raining, so that's why I'm all wet and wrapped in a towel. And now my phone's squished up in the corner by that window so that I could text Joel and tell him all is fine on the boat. So yes, good times. It's one of the things living on a boat you don't really think about, but every time you leave the boat and you come back, you always have a slight fear your home might be like on the bottom of the ocean. And it's something I never felt living in a house. I never came back and wondered if my house would still be there, but on the boat we, you know, that is actually a kind of very real fear you live with whenever you leave. So it's always a bit funny, but all is well. But I thought I'd let you guys know my mistake and that little story. I will be much more careful in the future. It's a really silly mistake, but it happens, and luckily all is well.
It really was just another week living aboard. And although I got some reminders of the difficulties living on a boat, I also had plenty of reassurance that this really is a chuffed life. Watching the sun reflecting off the water, being so close to nature and being rocked to sleep by the power of the ocean, it really is home. If you'd like to help us keep the dream alive, be sure to check out our website on ways to donate and help us out. Be sure to join us next episode as we continue tackling boat jobs and perform an emergency operation on a hawksbill turtle. Until next time, stay chuffed everybody.